In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show, proudly brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media and its family of shows. I've had Wayno on for the last 2 weeks hanging out with me talking NBA, and it's been fantastic. But today is one of my favorite shows that Drew and I ever do. So since Drew is still out, I had to call in my guy, Jared Davidson, so we could talk about a topic in our final segment that is near and dear to my heart. I know it is to his. So we'll get to that here in a minute. Jared, how you doing, buddy?
Man, we're doing good. We are relaxing. Just got back from the gym not too long ago and ate some dinner with the wife. But yeah, no, we're doing pretty good. Other than being a little sore already because it was a shoulder day and my shoulders weren't used to it. Other than that, we're doing pretty good, my man. How about you?
I'm good, man. I am good. Yes, we are talking about dinner, and I am having a beverage of choice because we are pre-recording tonight. As you're listening to this, I am currently working at Encompass Hospital. Andre, if you're in the comments here, get back to work. And I am hanging out there for the day. So Jared was kind enough to pre-record with me on Thursday night. We'll be kind of keeping an eye on the comments, so y'all keep those coming and talk about whatever is on your mind. It's one of the best parts about our show, Jared, is our shows is that we interact with our fans. The comment sections drive the show. So we miss y'all being live today, but we'll be back live on Monday. And rumor is, Jared, we might have a special, not guest host, a special co-host in the building on the Monday Two Buck Sports Show. I'm just saying. I had some insider information today that we could be getting somebody back on Monday.
Oh, it's like those rumored WWE returns, but like you know they're gonna happen at some point. Yeah. But when they come back, it's still just it feels good, man.
Yeah. And again, Wayno's my guy. It has been fantastic co-hosting with him. It's been a lot of fun. He is a true hoops head, and I've enjoyed talking hoops with him for the last couple of weeks. But I miss my guy, and I hope that Monday can be it. We'll see what happens, but. Now to the matters at hand. On Fridays, we start most shows with buffoonery, but especially on Fridays, we always start with our Bucks Big Three. We've got one that's on topic for this weekend. We typically do these non-sports related, but this one is sports related. So y'all hang with us as we do our Bucks Big Three. Yeah, so today we thought we would go a little bit more on brand for the weekend with NBA All-Star Weekend coming up. one of the highlights, I was actually before Jared and I went live here recording, I was watching the 1996 slam dunk contest on the NBA channel, and it was just super nostalgic seeing Jerry Stackhouse and Brent Berry winning and seeing some of these guys that I hadn't seen in a very, very long time. Back when the slam dunk contest was fun, Jared, and it was actually an event, and it was enjoyable. It's not the trash that we have to put up with now. Oh. So we're going to draft our 3 favorite dunkers. It can be in-game. It can be from the dunk contest itself. Like I'm kind of leaving it open to interpretation. Okay. And as the guest on the show, I'll allow you to go first. There is an obvious one of one here. And I'm about to learn a whole lot about you by who you take in this slot. But I'm giving you the first overall choice.
So it's because I feel like if I don't take him I feel like 1 and 2 might be the same regardless.
I don't think you know who I'm going to take first.
Okay, never mind.
Mine's a personal pick.
Okay, fair enough. Vince Carter, to me, is the unanimous number 1 here. Like just the class. I wasn't even alive. What year was that dunk contest with him?
Oh Lord, don't tell me you weren't alive.
I either wasn't alive or I was too young to remember. So like I've gone back and watched it in the past, but just Vince Carter, man.
2000. That was 2000.
Oh, dadgummit, that was a year before I was born. Yeah, make you feel old for a second. But no, just like
I was 13.
Just Vince, like going back and watching Vince Carter, and even like throughout his career, you knew every single time he got a lane to the basket, it was gonna be something special. And also too, like in the dunk contest, he did the down to the elbow, right, with like put his whole arm into it one time. But like you could just tell like that dunk where he's like, it's over. It just prolific.
It was that one.
Yeah, that one. Prolific from Vince Carter.
And then he puts his arm up to his elbow in the net. Yeah. Like that is the obvious one of one. And whoever has the first pick in the dunk contest or the dunker draft always has to take Vince Carter. Excellent.
Always. I was debating in my head because there's one that I really like just in general, but Vince Carter is just the way to go.
So if you thought that was before you were born, mine is going back. Mine is a nostalgic pick. This is a Rusty Witten special. May not be known as one of the most prolific dunkers, but he should be. He's at least a top 10 dunker of all time in game. And that is the first NBA player shoes I ever bought, was ever bought for me by my parents. That would be the one Sean Kemp from the Seattle Supersonics, soon to be Seattle Supersonics again. Sean Kemp was freakishly athletic for the early 90s NBA and could jump out of the gym, was doing Shaq antics. I'll never forget. He had a massive dunk, knocked the guy down, pointed at him with 2 fingers, and then ran back down the court. Like ultimate crap talker, ultimate dunker. Sean Kemp to this day is one of my favorite NBA players of all time, and I'm here for it. Sean Kemp's my first pick.
All right, are we snaking this or just go back and forth?
You go ahead. We'll go back and forth.
Okay. All right. You said Sean Kemp. I'm going to go good old down to Texas. Give me the human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins.
Strong.
The windmill, just
strong.
How easy it looked, but how powerful it went through. Like just with him and there's quite literally the reason he has the human highlight reel is because the windmill dunk was basically his staple at that point. But just he did it. He wasn't a guy who could just do it in an open floor. He can do it any time of the game. So yeah, I had to go Dominique Wilkins, the second one.
I like it. Strong pick. I'm also going to throw it back a little bit, not quite that far for my next one, but a guy that I fell in love with in the mid 90s. Hakeem Olajuwon was one of my favorite players of all time, but one of his teammates in Houston is a guy with one of the best nicknames too of all time. I'm talking about Clyde the Glide Drexler. Just a great in-game dunker, so smooth, just like could just beat you off the dribble, dunk on your head, and go right back down the court, do it again. Like Clyde the Glide is just another great nostalgic throwback in-game dunker, uber athletic finesse type player. If you're an old hoops head like me, Sean Kemp and Clyde the Glide are 2 solid first picks.
I like it. For my final pick, I'm going to go this is going to hurt me because I hated this team so much.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But dunking wise, give me option A for Lob City and Blake
Mhm.
Griffin. Like
I get it.
I hated that team so much, but Blake Griffin from the dunk contest jumping over the hood of a car and
Mhm.
it, to being able to jump from almost wherever around the key and at times not even have to dunk it, he could just get high enough and throw it in.
Mhm. Yeah.
Blake Griffin, yeah, literally. So option A in Lob City with Blake Griffin is going to be my third and final.
I don't hate that jumping over a car. You talk about throwing in the goal. Dwight Howard won a dunk
Yeah, Dwight
contest
Howard
with never
did
touching
that,
the
yeah.
rim with that monster dunk.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go a bit more recent, and I don't know if this will get some hate in the comments. You'll have to let me know. But a bit more recent, he's now changed his game more to a 3-point extraordinaire for the Denver Nuggets. But Orlando Aaron Gordon was sneaky good when he dunked over the Orlando mascot when he had
Yes.
like between the legs over the mascot. Like,
Yes.
don't let the new Aaron Gordon fool you. That dude could tear the rim off about 8 years ago. He was a phenomenal dunker in the dunk contest. Aaron Gordon is a guy. He's kind of sneaky good, like a sneaky good dunker.
I think he also won the 2013, either 2013 or 2014 McDonald's All-American dunk contest as well.
Mm-hmm.
When
he never won the NBA. He finished runner-up twice.
Dear
In
Lord,
2016 and 2020, including dunking over Taco Fall, who's 7'5".
there should have been co-champ. There should have been co-champs in 2016. Like,
Yeah.
Which was it? Was it Wade that gave him the 49 to kind of ruin it?
Yes,
dear
it
Lord.
was.
There should have been co-champs.
And
that year,
listen, it's no shade to
2016.
Zach LaVine because LaVine is another great
No.
dunker. He's awesome, but like Aaron Gordon was like that. That's straight. Like that was
The last time we felt
robbery.
something in the dunk contest.
Yeah, truly. When he goes under his legs, basically sitting down midair over the
On
mascot
top
and
of,
dunks it, and just
What's his name? Orbit, I think. No,
yeah,
that's the
just an
Houston Astros one. That's the Houston Astros one.
incredible. Like the 2016, like you said, that might have been the last like great dunk contest we truly had.
Who all was in that? It was Levine, Gordon, 2016 dunk contest. The good thing I have it pulled up right here. It was Levine, Gordon. Was Mitchell in that one? Could be crazy.
It was no, hang on.
Yeah, because now I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
at
we going-
1976.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch that one before I go to bed.
Yeah, and I watched 1996. I need to go back and watch this. It was Will Barton, Andre Drummond, Aaron Gordon, and Zach LaVine.
Oh, there's a reason the other two are forgotten.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Will Barton.
Jeez.
Let's see. Yeah, it was a dramatic finish. It wasn't. Who was it that? Oh, it wasn't Dwayne Wade because the judges were Mutombo,
Oh, that was
Magic Johnson, Shaq, Tracy McGrady, and George Gervin were the judges.
that now I'm confused because like who gave Aaron Gordon the 20 or the 49?
Yeah.
Oh man, but that's just that,
Anyway.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, back-to-back champ for Zach LaVine in 2015, 2016. Should have been Aaron Gordon. I got a strong list. You do as well. I've got Sean Kemp, Clyde the Glide, and Aaron Gordon. Who'd you end up with?
I ended up with the human highlight reel. What's his name? Wilkins, Vince Carter, and Blake Griffin. I had to go with somebody who I got to watch live when I was a kid, and not just highlights. So yeah. I'm the young guy here at BCM, so I had to throw in somebody that I was able to watch in the early 20s.
I got you. Well, listen, so we don't have a ton of Grizzlies to talk about. We've talked about the Grizzlies as much as you possibly can talk about the Grizzlies with daily shows leading up to the All-Star break. The Grizzlies do not play again until after the All-Star break. Several games are wrapping up tonight as we head into the All-Star break this weekend. Before we pick up basketball back next week. I forget who our first game back is, but we'll preview that early.
It's Utah.
It is the Utah game Friday night. Yeah, I'll be in the building for that. And speaking of that, unfortunately, not only are we robbed of a Desmond Bain homecoming this year, Jared, but we are robbed of a Jaren Jackson Jr. homecoming because Shams tweeted out this earlier. We've already talked about yesterday on Thursday. Yeah. On Thursday's show with Wayno, we did a deep dive on Jaren being out for the PVNS condition, which is a real thing. I'm not doubting that he had that. You're not going to go under. You're not going to have surgery and miss an NBA season just for tanking purposes. No. I do think the timing was a bit weird, and the NBA thought so as well. Shams Charania announced that the NBA has fined the Utah Jazz $500,000, not just a little fine, $500,000. For the February 7th and 9th incidents where they removed Lauri Markkanen and aforementioned Jaren Jackson Jr. before the beginning of the fourth and did not return them to the game. The Indiana Pacers were also violated for sitting Pascal Siakam on a February 3rd game against the Utah Jazz. And so these teams are having a tank off, and the NBA is having none of it. Adam Silver heard the cries, Jared, and is stepping up to try and make something change. This is wild.
Luke and I talked about it on Thursday morning's Daily Grind, and it was, we were ranking. We're talking about, does the NBA have a tanking problem? And we kind of broke it down by the bottom 10 teams who were not in the play-in. And I think we came around to 5 teams that are actually truly tanking, like that we're going to be tanking. And I think Luke and I both were solidified on the Jazz being the worst of them all with how they do it, because they are the most out there with it. And that's why they got fined last year with, Blatant. That's why they got fined last year with Lauri Markkanen. And now this year, when your coach quite literally comes out and says, no, I didn't have a single thought about putting them back into the game subbing them in the fourth quarter after they blew a big lead to the Orlando Magic. So this doesn't shock me. I just know the timing of it is awful with the Jaren news today. I know Silver probably knew this was going to come out, knew that they were going to find him, and then the Jaren stuff comes out, and he probably sat there for a second and was like, do we put this out today? Like, that's going to seem like, I know Utah fans are going to be like, dude, he's having surgery, like on something that like he can't control, and fair point, but other times I'm glad Shams put up the follow-up tweet about the holding players out in the fourth quarter, because if he didn't, that could have been some really bad hostility towards the NBA after Jaren got announced for surgery.
And you've seen guys like Terry Jones and Keith Smith going to bat for these teams about, saying that, it's surgery, blah, 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 playing around with it. Like, I get that. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Utah Jazz are forcing Jaren Jackson Jr. to have surgery in order to continue the tank. But I think that if Utah was in prime playoff position and were a top 4 seed in the West, Jaren was obviously playing through this already. He was playing through it in Memphis. Now, it does raise some questions. Was Memphis unaware of this? Had Memphis discovered it? What is our training staff doing? If y'all need some help, call me. Call me. I'll happily jump in and help, because we're clearly incompetent. But this raises a lot of questions about the Grizzlies. But it's clearly a thing. He needs surgery for it. You need to take it out before it creates long-term damage. But that's the key, long-term. This has been slow growing. He had 23-5 last night, or the night before, Wednesday night. Like, Jaren has been able to play through this, and Terry Jones has been going to bat for, I believe it's Terry. I want to make sure I got his name right. I think it's Terry Jones. Sounds right. That's not it. Anyway, he's been going to bat. Former Jazz reporter. He covers the NBA. He's been going to bat for him. Saying that they knew about it, that he wanted to play one home game before they shut him down, and so allegedly that's what happened. Again, I'm not saying that he doesn't have it going on. I just think the timing's really fishy, and the NBA thinks so as well, finding him $500,000 as a repeat offender for holding out Jaren and Lauri. And Lauri was out again.
You know how Adam Silver feels about repeat offenders.
Absolutely. Shout out Adam Silver. Well, it depends on who it is.
That is right. True.
Beef Stew gets 7 games. Ja Morant gets thrown under the jail. And lo and behold, once you know, as we're recording this on Thursday night, the Utah Jazz are playing tonight. And guess who's out for rest tonight? Lauri Markkanen.
Yep.
It is blatant, and I agree. Like, something needs to change. Wayno and I talked about maybe moving the trade deadline to the All-Star break. Maybe you do like a lock-in.
It used to be right before the trade. No, it used to be during it, right? Because didn't someone get traded from East to West one year?
I think you're right. And we talked about moving it back to there, but maybe you move the lottery lock-in to All-Star Weekend to where then you get some competitive games in the back half of the season, because otherwise, Jared, 25% of the NBA is going to be tanking the rest of the year because of the loaded draft class. And so something has to change. You've got, because the NBA is the only one, like Major League Baseball doesn't struggle with this. The NFL doesn't struggle with this. They still compete. They play hard. I mean, there's probably some shenanigans, but I am old enough to remember that the New York Jets won 2 games last year and won themselves out of the number 1 overall pick at the end of the season. You don't see that in the NBA. Something needs to change. We suggested maybe using the All-Star game as a way to help lock in the lottery. Like, you get the first couple of picks if you have an MVP in the All-Star game or a dunk contest winner. Like, there are ways that you can tweak it. Something needs to be tweaked in order to make this a better fan experience, because the people who screwed the most are the fans, right? I was looking forward to seeing Jaren coming back to Memphis on the 20th. There are people who are going to pay good money to go see the Jazz, and they're not going to see half their team this year.
Nope.
And Lauri Markkanen has been sitting out for the better part of the last 3 years as they're tanking. Now, allegedly next year, they're not going to tank, but that guy's a perennial loser. All he's known how to do is lose and half-ass basketball seasons. I don't know how you can flip a switch and all of a sudden go try and be a winner.
Yeah, I don't get that either. It doesn't make sense. Here's the thing, because like, you want teams who are bad, to try to get better.
Right.
But same conversation that we had on yesterday morning now with Luke and I, like, how much of it is tanking and how much of it is bad ownership with teams. Like, you look at the Sacramento Kings and bad front office, like them in New Orleans, they're in the gutters because they just don't have good ownership. Like, the Pelicans have refused to burn it down, but also too, like, just going back into the whole tanking point, you want teams to play well because it's the end. It's the spirit of the game, but also too, like, I don't know how you go about fixing it. I know. Well,
you have to change the system. They tried to do that with the lottery, but it made it worse because now you tank to get better lottery odds. Something's going to have to change because in order to protect the competitiveness of the NBA.
And
listen, here's the thing: Adam Silver absolutely fiddles with these. Like, there is 0% chance that a guy like Darren Peterson or AJ DeBanza is going to Sacramento. So what that does is that creates a cycle of losing and tanking to try and get. And so to try to get the number 1 overall pick, and these franchises can't snap out of it. Like, I don't for a second believe that Washington is all of a sudden going to be a great playoff contending Eastern Conference Finals contending team next year. A, because I don't think Trey is a great teammate. B, Anthony Davis is going to miss most of next year. Because he's made of paper mache and plays in the NBA, but they're also a losing franchise, and they haven't been to the playoffs since John Wall was a rookie, I believe.
You want to know what? I just kind of just popped in my head. You want to know what could possibly start the way to fix this? Eliminate the lottery as a whole. Like, go back to, like, go to do what the NFL does. Go to your worst teams getting the number 1 overall pick. Truly your worst team. So this year it would be the freaking Sacramento Kings. And
that would fix the thing, because clearly they're going to tank even harder to make sure they're the worst team.
That is too. But, like, then again, you're not relying on ping pong balls and Adam Silver to.
So
to
my thing was,
because, like, I will say real quick, Rusty, sorry. To continue my thought, you look at the NFL, teams who get the number 1 overall pick, they have something to build on. So in the long run, tanking gets limited a little bit. Maybe at times it looks egregious, because, like, with this lottery system, and this is what I'm terrified of, with the Bucks still sucking and Giannis not still being at least 3 weeks out at minimum coming back, they could end up with one of these top 4 picks to go along with Giannis, and all of a sudden Giannis isn't going anywhere. Like they end up with a Darren Peterson, they end up with the Wagler or a Caleb Wilson, Cam Boozer type guy to pair up with Giannis, and then the rest of the league is like, well, guess what? We didn't get our guy, and now he's paired with Giannis. So the look of the ping pong ball just seems like that.
Agreed. I think the way to fix it is you make it competitive. Adam Silver loves tournaments. Make a lottery tournament. You want to be one of the top 10, get one of the top 10 picks, you go win the lottery tournament. You could do it in Fast Break Breakfast. Keith Parrish out of Nashville talked about this a couple of days ago. I was a big fan of this idea where you create a point system. once you're in, like once you hit the All-Star break, the point system kicks in, and you get a point for every team you beat with a better record than you. You could even take it a step and a half. And if you beat somebody in the top 4 in your conference, you get a 1.5. And then it's a point system. You're going out trying to win games and win points to win the rest of the year. It makes it more competitive. The Laurie Markkanens, the Jaren Jackson Jr.'s of the world continue to play, and you earn your draft pick by winning. And that's how you fix it. If you enable losing, you're gonna continue to enable losers like the Kings, like the Hornets up until like this year, really. The Wizards, like these teams are going to continue to tank and try and win the number 1 overall pick instead of, empowering winning. If you empower a team, so like at the All-Star break, you take the bottom 10 teams. So like today, or at the end of today, starting tomorrow, you would take all of the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would take the Bulls, Bucks. As of today, you would take the Bulls, Bucks, Nets, Pacers, Wizards, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Jazz, Pelicans, and Kings, throw them in a tournament at the end of the year, maybe during the playoff time when the first couple rounds of playoffs, and it ain't got to be anything. It can be like the NBA Cup where it's just like a 2-week process. It doesn't have to last the entirety of the playoffs, but you go and you play, and that's how the draft order is decided. That's a quick and easy win on how to fix it.
Yeah, or whatever other worldwide sport likes to do, bring in the threat of relegation.
Yeah, you go back to the G League.
Could you imagine? Like the Pacers with how bad they've been this year because Tyrese has been hurt, end up in the G League next year. So I mean, that'll never happen in American sports because the mind can't comprehend it. But who knows? Relegation always. That's one reason why I do like watching. That's why I do like watching soccer, especially towards the later end of like the Premier League season in May, because it's just it's fun. Like you get teams who are trying not to go down a league and still play in the top league, and they're fighting their tails off because there's a wild scenario, maybe like a 1 in 50 chance they get in, they avoid it, but they're still going to fight their tail off for it.
Absolutely. And so you reward winning with lottery picks. That's how you fix the system. But there's a reason everybody is tanking, and that's because this is one of the deepest draft classes in recent memory. And ESPN dropped an article yesterday where they ranked the top 100 big board rankings. It was compiled by Jeremy Woo yesterday afternoon, this afternoon as we're recording. And the top 10 names are not in no particular surprising order. You've got Darian Peterson, AJ DeBansa, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler at 6, Nate Ament. That's the guy that has been put on the Grizzlies a lot, especially in Tankathon. They believe we're going to pick in the 8-9 range and take Nate Ament. Darius Acuff is 8. Mikael Brown Jr. is 9th. And then Karim Lopez of the New Zealand Breakers is 10. I've talked a lot. Keaton Wagler is kind of the guy that I want us to target in that top 10. He's 6'6". He's wiry. He's a competitor. Who is the guy you're targeting for the Memphis Grizzlies? Who do you think the Grizzlies should go after?
Man, if you get in that 8, if you get into that 7, 8, 9 spot, it gets a lot more mixed up because of, the top 4, almost top 5 is solidified. Simply like of who it's going to be, not in any particular order. I would absolutely love a Caleb Wilson on this team just because he fits that mold. So I would really like the Grizzlies if they're in that spot to get him. But and you end up real quick. Let me do this.
I mean, he fractured his hand and then finished the game.
Yeah,
but he finished the game. Like that's a tough kid that we need on this team.
I wouldn't mind an Nate Ament. He's freaking 6'10", and he started the start of the year for him was not good. So he's starting to come into his own.
He put Mississippi State in a body bag the other night from an assist perspective, points perspective. Like that dude is uber athletic. He's like Jaren. I mean, he's shooting 46% from the field, averaging 20 points in SEC play, and has really stepped up lately. Yeah.
So with how the Grizzlies draft picks are falling right now, we're right around every consistent run I've done on Tankathon the past couple of days has put us our first pick anywhere from consistently. Now this is the best it got was 1, obviously, but consistently in between 6 and 8. That second pick has floated between 15 and 18. I think the Grizzlies go after a small forward or a power forward first, and then go guard later. Because say if you don't get a guard, you have a platoon that you can kind of make do with next year with, a Ty Jerome, a Cam Spencer, a Scottie Pippen, if he's still on this team. I still think he's going to be traded in the offseason, or like a Walter Clayton. Like, you're going to have, and here's the thing, if by some freaking reason he's still on this team, you have a fifth one in John Morant. So you're going to have an abundance of guards. So I think the Grizzlies' first priority should be a big small forward or a power forward first, and Nate Mint fits that. So I like Nate Mint if we land in that 6 to 8 range. I also like Mikael Brown Jr. if we do go guard. Louisville put out a cool video today, just the hype video, the corner 3 thing from the double dribble, what was a Family Guy clip. But
yeah,
those would be 2 that I would target in that area. But in that later spot, that's right where Darius Acuff's projected right now.
So here's my thing about Acuff and Mikael Brown. I like them. They're good players. They're tough. They play hard, but they're small. And I have been burned by a small guard. John Morant has not played for the last 3 years. He's a small guard. And I hate that that's my watermark, but I'm a little bit nervous about a small guard. Darius Acuff, 6'3", Mikael Brown Jr. Allegedly 6'5". That dude don't look 6'5". He's probably closer to 6'3".
6'5" with shoes on.
And listen, and Acuff, they both give John Morant. They're ball dominant, small guards who are really athletic. Acuff is a bit more aggressive. He plays a bit stronger than his frame. I kind of lean, and listen, death, taxes, and Calipari guards hitting in the NBA are only guarantees in life. So Acuff wouldn't be a terrible pick. I just ran Tankathon. We got the 8th pick. Nate Ament is great. We also got the 15th pick and landed Yaxel Lindenborg from Michigan. I don't hate that pick if we're in that area, because that's a big rebounding. He's averaging 18 points, 9.8 rebounds for Michigan. I think we're going to try and solve Thomas Howell. Yeah, I mean, from Florida.
I wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't be my first choice for a forward, but
yeah. So I've been really big on, if we land in that 8th, look, top 5 pick is Keaton Wagler. One of one, sprint to the podium and take that kid. If we land 7 to 10, I like Nate Ament, like we just talked about. And then for that Magic pick, there are 3 names that I'm keeping an eye on. Lindenborg from Michigan. He's aggressive. He's mean. He's nasty. I like Thomas Howell. Not bad. But the one I really like, and I know you're an SEC guy too, so you might appreciate this, but if we land somewhere in that 10 to 14 range where he's going, Jaden Quintons from Kentucky, like 10 points, Kentucky, but 10 boards, like almost 3 stocks a game.
Those points are going to go up because he was hurt.
Yeah. Like, I like his game a lot. He's an aggressive, rim protecting, rebounding, 6'10", like power forward center type.
6'10", 250 down low.
That's a dude.
That is a dude. And that I looked at his name right as you started that, like naming your 3 guys, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, he's about to go Quaitons. And because I keep forgetting about Quaitons, because like I said, he was hurt earlier this year. It's kind of the same thing with a couple other guys. Like everyone keeps riving over Arenas, Elijah, how do you say his name?
Elijah Arenas,
yeah. Everyone keeps clamoring for him, but like, he's hurt. He's been inconsistent. He has a couple of big 20-point games, but he's been inconsistent.
And he's terrible from 3.
Yeah, he is. But like, there's guys in this class that people just keep letting slip because earlier in the year they've been hurt, and it's insane. Just how loaded this class is. I would not mind Quaitons at all. My thing with Darius Acuff, and this may sound biased, but because I'm an Arkansas guy, I'm not. I'm gonna try to take the blinders off when looking at the Grizzlies with Darius Acuff. My thing with him is that yes, he plays physical, but also too, he doesn't try to go above the rim a lot as Ja Morant. He's a lot more grounded, and so that's where with me, I like him consistently more, because he can score at 3 levels. He's a good PNR guy. He he doesn't do too much. He's smart under the rim.
Yeah.
So
I could get behind Acuff if we take him. He's not he'd be like 8th or 9th on my list of guys to pick.
And that's like my whole big reason about Acuff. I have never once said take Acuff with our first pick that we have because he's going to be there in that range of wherever our second pick falls. Like I want our first guy to be a Nate Ament. If we sneak into the top 5, a Keaton Wagler or a Caleb Wilson, someone like that. And then if Acuff is there later on and we're going to go guard, go for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I agreed. And I mean, that's fine. Like, I don't think this offense needs an elite point guard with so many guys being able to run point. You got Cedric, you could get a point forward. A Cam Boozer could run point. Caleb Wilson could run some point on this. It's a high pick and roll offense. And so you just need guys, and you don't have to have an elite level point guard. So for me, we've had such an issue. Yeah. And so we've had such an like a rough go at the wing position that I think we should go power forward / wing. And if you can do like a combo forward, like a Nate Ament, who can do, he's a really big 3 and he's good at as a 4. Like that solves a lot of issues in the wing problem that we've had. And you can still start Gigi at the 3. You brought up Elijah Arenas. He's been getting a ton of hype lately. Yeah, that's a super long lineup. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like Gigi, Ament, and Edie. Come on.
And then you have Ced's long wingspan at the 2.
Yeah, and it don't matter who you play point guard.
No, it don't. Literally, you can have a rotation.
Because Ament is a good defender. He's a good defender.
He's averaging almost 2 stocks.
And he's just long. He's crafty defensively. I like what he does. Elijah Arenas has been getting a lot of hype on a lot of our shows. Some of the guys, I know Chris Ingram's big on him. Sane's big on him. I don't like it's flashy, sure, but he's averaging 31% from the field.
Yeah.
He's at 34% from the field, 25% from 3, and the biggest teller, he's 69% from the free throw line. That's how you can tell a shooter if he's got good form, is his free throw percentage. And the fact that he doesn't have a passing grade from the free throw line, Jared, makes me really nervous for a guy like Elijah Arenas.
He's not even projected in the first round. He's not even projected.
ESPN had him way down the list on the
on this Tankathon. He's not even. He goes undrafted. Like he's not even in the top 60 of guys that would be taken. I don't see him on this one right now that I just ran, but like. He's a guy that would definitely bolster up that 20-win class if he decides to stay. I think
a lot of these guys might. He is the 44 ranked player on the big board for ESPN, right behind Neo, the forward from Virginia Tech, and right ahead of Okori, the point guard from Stanford. A lot of these guys in this range very likely will stay another year because 2027 right now is a really light class. And if you know you're not going to be drafted in this class, why not take like a LeBaron Folland did, who took another year to get better and come back to college and improve his draft stock. And now LeBaron's going to go likely in the top 15.
That's the only hope of why I want Malik. That's the only hope I have of Malik Thomas wanting to stay at Arkansas another year. Because he's projected right now right around 37. Oh, dear Lord, please no. 37 to Oklahoma City.
They've got him 35th in this ESPN big board, right behind Braden Smith from Purdue and right ahead of the big center from St. John's. Listen, we'll see. The draft is coming up. We'll know our lottery fate early May. We're going to keep highlighting on the Two Buck Sports Show, May the 10th. We're going to keep highlighting on the Two Buck Sports Show different people that we want to draft. I wanted to talk about this article, but that's enough talking about basketball. We talk about basketball every day. Jared, after this brief commercial break, we're going to talk about my favorite season of the year. It is finally here.
My favorite season until June.
Yeah, until y'all fall apart, which we'll talk about after this commercial break.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the Grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. with local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
I don't know how to feel about Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
Talent is there for to be a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Is the commitment there?
I want somebody who lives, breathes, that's a hard word. Lives, breathes, eats, sleeps ball. I don't believe someone who prescribes to all of that would warm up and then decide not to play.
Warm up and then all of a sudden be out with flu-like symptoms that quick.
So there's just a lot of red flags already. I wouldn't use a pick in the most important draft in a hot minute, and we know it's going to be the best one for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't use that pick on a guy that already has this many red flags. Just wouldn't do it.
Tune into the Daily Grind with your host, Luke Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles.
Welcome back to the 2 Buck Sports Show, proudly brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media. I got my guy Jared Davidson here with me. We just talked NBA. We talked about the fine levied by the NBA on the Jazz and the Pacers. We talked about the ESPN Top 100 big board of college basketball players heading into the draft. And Jared, I'm about to play quite possibly my favorite bumper video because of what it means. So y'all sit with me for these 8 seconds as we bring this back for the first time in a long time. That's right, baby. College basketball is back. It's the best thing about this weekend. It ain't Valentine's Day. It ain't buying cards and flowers for your sweetie. It is college baseball season.
Also, cards and flowers are amateur hour.
Amateur hour, absolutely.
Flowers are still appreciated by your woman.
Yeah.
Amateur hour.
Excellent. Absolutely. So we're talking college baseball as it's back on Friday night, tonight, as of this recording, February the 13th. We back in college baseball, baby. And it is going to be quite the season this year, Jared. I am a huge college baseball junkie. It doesn't matter who's playing, what's playing. It don't matter. I will watch whatever college baseball is on my TV. So y'all T's and P's for Maggie as college baseball season's coming up because I will be having Mississippi State on the TV a whole lot more than people probably
T's and P's for Amy as well.
Yeah. I'm a Mississippi State Bulldog fan. Obviously, I'm decked out here. Jared is an Arkansas Razorback fan. Don't tune out. Listen, if you're not a college baseball junkie like we are, if you're not a huge fan, hang in there. It is a growing game. It is getting popularity. Jared, you can now get odds over on FanDuel for college baseball. You can bet on individual games. You can bet on futures, which we're going to get to here in a minute. But Mississippi State kicks off an exciting season for the Bulldogs as we have a new head coach in the Oak, Brian O'Connor. 2015 national champ with the Virginia Cavaliers is the new head dog in Starkville down at Duty Noble Stadium. A lot of buzz around Mississippi State this year as we head into the college baseball season, but it is an SEC dominated sport. The last time a non-SEC college won the College World Series, it was 2018 And do you remember who that was that won it? Who was that? Do you know? I'm blanking. Can you tell me who it was?
You know who it is. You know.
It's them Oregon State Beavers. And who did they beat? Who did they beat? This is why I brought you on the show, so we can talk about this.
I know exactly why you brought as soon as you
foul ball of death.
As soon as you called me yesterday now or Wednesday, as when you're watching this, as soon as you called me and as soon as I heard the words college baseball come out of your mouth, I was like, Rusty, in my head, like Rusty's going to grill me for the amount of times my team has been, and especially the biggest blunder of them all being in 2018, which so happens to be the last time a non-SEC team won it, which if they did win it that year, it would have bumped the SEC streak to what?
2015.
Yeah, with now Mississippi State head coach
Brian O'Connor.
Because
before that it was Vandy in Florida.
Yep.
And then it was Virginia. But a lot of expectations on the SEC this year, although if you listen to the writers, the number one team in the country is the UCLA Bruins, formerly of the Pac-12. I'm having a hard time getting used to them being a Big Ten baseball. Like for football, for whatever reason, it doesn't bother me, but a Big Ten baseball program, they've struggled. They were down 23 and 24. They're right back on top. Quite possibly the best player in all of college baseball is their shortstop in Rock Chalowski. He is an incredible shortstop, will be a top 3 draft pick in the professional
Golden
draft.
Spikes concussions last year.
Yeah, this kid is an incredible shortstop. Got him to come back to improve. He will likely be a top 3, top 5 pick. And they return a deep core.
One of the best parts of college baseball is that if you commit to college, you have to be there for 3 years. So it wasn't they didn't get him to come back. He was forced to come back, and this UCLA program is going to reap the benefits big time of that.
Could have very easily transferred is what I was getting at. In the day and age, he could have transferred. But he did come back to a deep young core with a lot of bats and a good pitching rotation. Your UCLA Bruins are the number 1 team in the country in the preseason ranking, which doesn't mean a whole lot. As we well know, the last time the number 1 overall seed won the college baseball World Series. Do you know when that was?
It was Miami, wasn't it?
It was Miami. Do you know when that was?
No, it was either late 90s or 2001. Right?
It was, let me see. 2001 was the last time the number 1 overall seed. It was, I couldn't remember if it was the 99 national, because they won in 99 and they won in 01, but it was the 2001 national championship, which is the last time the number 1 overall seed heading into the college tournament won the College World Series.
Well, and that was the first true year of number of preseason rankings of being recognized nationally too.
Yep, exactly. But since then, it's these fluke teams. This is truly the only sport where a team like Coastal Carolina in 2016 can go and win a national championship. And I thought they had it last year. They won 8 consecutive games to start the College World Series playoff from the regionals to the super regionals into the College World Series. They didn't lose a game until they faced LSU in the final series. An incredible run by Coastal, and they somehow got better. Like, that team's going to be better this year. They had the best catcher in all of baseball last year. He's gone pro. Their coach is in his 2nd season at the helm. He set a college record after winning National Coach of the Year as a rookie, first year head coach. He also won 56 games. We're talking about Kevin Schnall, the head man in Conway, South Carolina, won 56 games last year, setting a Coastal record and a first-year head coach record, en route to the National Coach of the Year and a runner-up finish last year to LSU, who is also loaded for bear this year, Jared.
Yeah. Well, going to Coastal Carolina, when you return the other 2 first-team All-Americans are gone. But when you return somebody like Cameron Flukie, that's his name, blanked on me for a second, who was All-American talent.
The junior pitcher.
Yeah, junior pitcher. That's huge. They also have all 3 of their best bullpen arms back. And 1 or 2 of those will probably slide into the weekend rotation. Just how college baseball works. If you're an elite bullpen player 1 year, you always bump into that starter role. Like, usually it goes closer to starter. But anyways, that team returned a lot of good pitching. Had the 2nd best ERA last year. and
they
had a
returned
phenomenal
90%. And they
Yeah.
returned 90% of their pitching staff. And then listen to this: we all know if you follow college baseball, pitching wins championship. That's just what it is. Everybody can hit, but when you get to Omaha, it's do you have enough arms to get you to the championship game?
Yeah.
And their pitching staff are a junior, grad senior, junior, redshirt senior. That kind of experience is going to be a tough out should they make it to Omaha in June. We'll talk about our best bets here in a minute, but Coastal Carolina is up there for me as a best bet.
Preseason number 6 for them. Dude, arms are at such a premium when you get to, I'm not going to say conference tournament because, if you're good enough, unless you have to play your way into the NCAA tournament through a conference tournament, you're not really worried about your arms. But when you get to regionals and supers, and then you have to start stringing things together where you're playing, possibly almost 10 games in 13 days, something like that, 14 days.
It's a load.
It's a lot. You have to be able to space those arms out and keep guys fresh and available. And Coastal Carolina brought back enough arms to do that this year.
Yeah.
So
they did it. In the Sun Belt, that's an elite baseball conference because you've got Coastal, you got Southern Miss, you got Troy, who's usually pretty good. You got some teams in there that can play baseball, and you've got 2 Sun Belt teams in the preseason. I follow Baseball America pretty heavily. They're where I get a lot of my information. They've got Coastal at 11. They got Southern Miss at 23rd. They've got East Carolina at 24. So I guess they've got another Sun Belt team in there. Sun Belt is a deep baseball conference.
Yeah, D1 baseball has them has Southern at Southern Miss at 20.
So according to Baseball Top 25, Baseball America Top 25, D1 is another great reputable source if you're new to the sport. Baseball America's top 5 are UCLA, LSU. That makes a ton of sense. Mississippi State is 3rd. Georgia Tech is 4. Auburn is 5 in the Baseball America poll. Auburn's a team that everybody's kind of like jumping in on. They're real trendy to pick right now. They had a really good transfer portal class. They finished 10th last year. Butch Thompson, formerly Mississippi State assistant coach, is a guy who can coach, and they returned some guys while adding a deep portal class, including Eddie Madrigal, who had 21 home runs last year for St. Mary's. Like, this team is not bad. I don't get the hype. I'm going to need to see it first because Auburn is one of those teams, much like Arkansas, a bridesmaid, never a bride, and can never figure it out when it comes to getting to Omaha.
Yeah, and their big question mark, they brought in a loaded transfer class. There's depth on the mound for Auburn, but how good is that depth? I mean, right now they're top 5 projected guys on the mound this year had a 4.6 ERA, a 6.08, a 5.2, a 5.2, and a 3.86 last year. So they have a lot of arms that they can go to, but as it said, according to Kendall Rogers, who shout out to him, if you want to follow a guy who knows his stuff, follow Kendall Rogers on Twitter if you want to get into college baseball. The thing is, I don't think they know who their solidified Friday night guy is, and if you don't have a solidified Friday night guy, you're gonna be in a load of troubles and have to win a lot of games that are 9. Like, you have to score 9-10 runs almost a game to almost compete with a pitching staff that looks like that.
Yep, exactly. And so I've waited and I've danced around it long enough. Mississippi State is preseason number 3 in the College Baseball America poll. What are they at in D1 baseball?
They're number 4, right behind Texas.
Number 4. 3-4 right in there. Texas is an elite pick for a national championship.
Yes.
They're super deep. They returned a ton of starters. But horns down, Will Bednar owns Austin, Texas. But anyway, Mississippi State brings back enough firepower, and then we got all of the top players from Virginia that follow Brian O'Connor down. We've got second team All-American Ace Reese, who's going to be one of the best third basemen in all of the country this coming up year. He hit 352 within 452 on base and a 718 slugging percentage last year. If you're new to the game of baseball, that's really, really good. He hit 21 home runs last year, and he had 66 RBIs leading the Bulldogs last year. Ace Reese is going to be a pro. He's going to get drafted at the end of this year as a junior. We got Greg Fry coming back as our second baseman. He had a really strong sophomore or junior campaign, hitting 345, 404 on base, and 586 slugging. And then we added a lot of transfer talent in Aiden Teal.
Three that I'm really looking at.
Aiden Teal in the outfield, James Nunnally in the outfield, along with on the pitching staff, Tomas Valanciunas, the sophomore flamethrower with a 4.59 ERA, 1.25 WHIP last year for the Cavaliers, and is coming in with a lot to prove heading into his sophomore campaign.
Not just a flamethrower, he's a southpaw flamethrower, which you get that at the college level. You'll see a lot more at the college level. Teams struggle with lefty pitchers a lot, and watching a team who has struggled with lefty pitchers for the longest time going back, it's insane. But yeah, you mentioned Nunnally in the outfield. Going back to the position group, he had only one homer last year, but he batted almost 300, 12 doubles. He's just a guy who gets on base. Yeah. And you look at the two other guys. I don't know if you named them. You got Milewski from Seton Hall, who's looking to be your catcher this year. Slugged 16 home runs and 58 RBIs last year. Batted over 300. And then he'll be competing with.
The reason I didn't mention him, he's competing with Andrew Raymond, who's also a transfer from George Mason. He had 33 RBIs last year and hit right at 287. But he also had one of the best punch out rates on the diamond. He had as far as steal rate was very, very low last year.
Okay, and then you also have Blake Beavis, who could be your first baseman from Ball State, a transfer senior. 18 home runs, 13 doubles, 52 RBIs.
52 RBIs.
Yeah, he batted 301, had a slugging percentage of 615, and an OBP of over 1,000, almost over 1,000, just a couple ticks below it. And in college, on base plus slugging, if you are close to 1,000 in that stat category, you are prime. Mississippi State, their projected lineup, according to D1 Baseball right now, has 4 guys who smashed 15 or more home runs last year.
Listen, for Mississippi State this year, we've talked about all the strengths. The weakness is just going to be experience. These guys haven't played together. We've added a lot of new faces. We're bringing back some. We got a good mix. We got Bryce Chance. We've got Ace Reese. We got guys. Garrick Frey, who's coming back. We've got guys who were on this team last year, and arguably one of the best positional coaches in America. Shout out Brian O'Connor for getting Justin Parker to stay and coach our pitching rotation. Justin Parker is one of the premier pitching coaches. He has South Carolina, who's not been good since Ray Tanner was the head coach in 2015, 2016, as one of the premier rotations in all of college baseball. He's in Starkville. I have lofty expectations for Mississippi State. Listen, I don't expect us to go win it all this year. I think we have a good shot at it, but we just need to get back to being in Omaha, something Lemonis could not do.
The past couple of years with y'all being down after y'all won the national championship, it just felt weird. Because now I'm going to say this and you're going to be like, but who has the ring? One thing in college baseball that I just enjoy watching is an Arkansas Mississippi State series. Because everyone touts, Arkansas LSU as being good, and now Arkansas Tennessee as being a rivalry series. The favorite team I like to watch us play is Mississippi State, because usually it's two programs who are good baseball, right at neck and neck with each other as well. But the reason I like Mississippi State this year, you talked about part of the mix of getting guys to stay and guys that were brought in from Virginia. It's just a lot of guys from both programs who feel like they may have fell short a little bit last year and underperformed and kind of want to prove themselves a little bit. And that good combination that he was able to bring in is a huge reason why Mississippi State catapulted from finishing the year like they did last year to being ranked in the top 5 by both Baseball America and D1.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So shifting to Arkansas for a little bit, it's got a great team coming back this year. Baseball America has them at the number 10 spot. Again, Arkansas always has a really good pitching rotation. They always have one or two dudes who can sling it. What is Arkansas looking like this year, Jared?
So we lost our entire outfield from last year. We'll get to pitching in a second. We lost our entire outfield from last year. We are moving right now. Our projected right fielder is Kuhio Aloy, who is the brother of Wahiva, who won Golden Spikes last year. And Kuhio was a DH for us majority of last year, was a big reason we were even in Omaha last year, because he just had a resurgence late. He's probably going to play right field. Had 317 last year, had 13 home runs. Arkansas has 4 guys who hit double-digit home runs returning. Ryder Helfrich is one guy that I am like. Him returning at catcher this year is a huge plus. Like a familiar face for our pitching staff to work with, who is going to be a little bit, not going to say inexperienced. They have guys who have stuff, but it's
when you lose guys like Zach Root and Landon, what was his like? That both of them go pro, like they're both early draft picks. Like, like you had Gage Wood were like top no-hitter. Like first 4 or 5 rounds, big no hitter, first 4 or 5 round guys. Like that's hard to replace. Yeah,
it's insanely hard to replace. But so having Ryder Helfrich back there, and also too maybe being our best power bat as well, which is rare for a catcher in college baseball. He had 15 home runs last year, batted .305. Having him, Reese Robinette's back at first base. Souza, hopefully he stays healthy this year. We did not see Nolan Souza a lot last year due to an injury. He's going to be our second baseman. So those are the guys I'm excited about. We did get a guy to transfer from Marshall. I'm going to butcher his name. His last name's Niu. Not even going to try his first name right now. He batted almost a little under 300, had 15 home runs. I'm worried about
another Sunbelt guy. Another Sunbelt guy who can. And
Arkansas
those guys
has
can play.
Gotten a lot of guys from Sunbelt recently. Here's where I'm worried. It's our pitching. We have the quality, and very rarely does an Arkansas team, where their pitching staff has to take a back seat to the offense. This year, I feel like that's what it's going to have to be. You have a lot of guys who have shown they can do it, but they're really inexperienced. We get Gabe Gackle back, who's been hurt a lot. He's going to be a big one. Getting Gackle back, getting Hunter Dietz to come back this year was huge. He didn't have a lot of appearances last year. He was also hurt a little bit. Colin Fisher, who is on Arkansas baseball Twitter, one of the favorites, just because there was a picture floating around last year of his face photoshopped onto a tuna, and so that's huge. Fisher last year, 4.62 ERA, had 16 appearances. A lot of our guys from last year, Rusty, our top 5 projected back. Gabe Gackle had 71 innings pitched. No one else had more than 30. That's the big question mark for Arkansas this year. Dave Van Horn, he's a good coach, knows where he can pull the trigger and whatnot, but just having a lot of guys who are inexperienced on the mound, haven't been in big spots, is going to be the question mark for Arkansas this year. And I think we're going to learn a lot playing in I can't remember what it's called this year, but it's that Globe Life that they start out every year. I think it's Oklahoma State, TCU, Arkansas, and I cannot remember the 13. I think it's Texas Tech who we're playing. It's going to be a big 3-game test early. So figure out
we're right there too. We're in one of those early season tournaments with UCLA, with Texas Tech, with a couple of teams that are going to make some noise into the postseason. And so I feel that we're going to be right there with y'all. But like I said earlier, over on FanDuel, you can make some wagers on college baseball, some futures to win the national championship. The odds-on favorite, as they are perennially, and Jay Johnson is a great coach down in Baton Rouge. LSU is the odds-on favorite at plus 650, followed by UCLA, who we've talked about at length today, with the best player in all of college baseball following in at plus 750. Arkansas, plus 1,200, slightly ahead of Mississippi State, who is a victim of lack of experience at Brian O'Connor in the SEC at this level.
Y'all are victim of lack of experience. We're just victim of shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah. Plus 1,500. Georgia, plus 1,600, tied with Texas, and Tennessee at plus 1,700.
Yeah. I like Georgia at plus 1,600. Wes Johnson's a great coach. He was he was the pitching coach for Arkansas when that 2018 thing happened. I'm not going to say what it was, but we've already talked about it. Yeah. But then he went to be with the Twins for a little bit, came back. Jay Johnson brought him back to LSU to be their pitching coach for a couple of years, and then Georgia nabbed him up, which when all the speculation of is Dave Van Horn going to retire, I would have loved to have Wes Johnson back in Fayetteville. But Dave Van Horn's still here, and Wes Johnson's done a great job at Georgia so far. Rusty, I think Tennessee is still going to be good this year.
They are. They've got the talent to be good.
Josh Elander, their head coach now. I feel comfortable with him. Everyone's like, oh, he's in a tough spot. Rusty, the man coached not only under Tony Vitello, not only under Dave Van Horn when all of them were on the same staff, he also coached under Jim Schlossnagle.
Yeah,
So-
three of the best names in college baseball for those of you uninformed.
He's a fruit of one of the best coaching trees in college baseball ever. So I think Tennessee's going to be just fine. That hurts me to say it just because I don't like Tennessee.
Well, they were able to retain a lot of their players. The difference in Tennessee and Georgia, Georgia is returning 4 potential starters, whereas they have a massive transfer class, which can be hit or miss, right? Like that could be a really good thing. That could also be a really bad thing when baseball is so much chemistry more than even other sports.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing. Wes Johnson, though, in his first year at Georgia, that he was able to take that team to a new height. So that's why I still have faith in Georgia. The SEC this year, just like always, and I think even more this year, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah. SEC is going to be brutal. If you can come out of conference play with 17 wins, you're going to host a regional, you're going to host a super regional, and have a really good shot at the College World Series. That's for sure. And speaking of that, before we kind of deep dive in, I've got some best bets, some teams that and one of them I'll own. I'm a little bit biased about, but like the host site. So the biggest thing with college baseball is if you win and you win at a good level, you will be one of the 16 teams to host a what's called a regional. The way the postseason works, you get after a conference tournament, you get a regional where you got 4 teams playing in it. The winner of that will play in a super regional against a paired regional, and the winner of that goes to Omaha with the chance to play for the college national championship.
Think of it like this, because you still have 64 teams in the basketball tournament as well in March Madness. That's broken down to 16 pods of 4. So basically, you're just breaking down the big 4 brackets that you have into smaller other 4 little brackets, and you play through those. But the only difference is 16 teams host those, and then whoever wins, 8 teams will host the next round before you go all neutral site.
Exactly. And so based on the Baseball America top 25, they've got UCLA hosting paired with Ole Miss. They've got LSU hosting paired with Oregon State and out in Corvallis, which is always a beautiful, fun place to watch baseball. Starkville, Mississippi State paired with Arkansas at 14. They've got Georgia hosting in Atlanta, Georgia Tech hosting in Atlanta with Charlottesville, Virginia at 13. They've got Auburn paired with Coastal Carolina in the 5-12, Georgia and Tennessee in the 6-11. North Carolina, another perennial baseball powerhouse, an Omaha mainstay, paired with Florida State in Tallahassee, and then Texas at 8. And TCU projected to win the Big 12 this year at number 9 as your host sites for the regionals.
D1 baseball has number 1 UCLA paired up with number 16 Florida State. They have number 2 LSU paired up with number 15 Georgia, number 3 Texas with number 14 Tennessee. Battle of, the T, because they like to argue about that. Mississippi State paired up with Florida at 4 and 13. Georgia Tech at 5 paired up with Oregon State at 12. Coastal at 6 paired up with North Carolina at 11. That'd be wild. And a team Arkansas can't seem to get away from in the postseason. Arkansas at number 7 paired up with number 10 TCU. Give me up. If y'all don't know the history about that, TCU, every time they meet Arkansas in the postseason, it is straight B2A in that.
You might as well pack it up if you're Arkansas fans.
Yeah. And then Louisville number 8 with Auburn number 9, that pairing. And a team who made the loudest noise in the postseason last year is in that projected to be in that Louisville bracket with Murray State.
The Murray State Racers, who made their first ever Omaha appearance. But as we start to land this plane, I've got some best bets on some teams that I think have a real shot. If you want to win some money over on FanDuel, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media, here are 4 teams to look at with really good odds right now. And so for those of you that are new to college baseball and new to betting on college baseball, the best times to make your bets are right now before the season starts, after week 1, because you'll see some teams kind of rise and fall, at the end of non-conference play, at the end of non-conference play is another really good time, because you have some teams that'll challenge themselves and push themselves to power through conference play if they had a rough start to the season, and then right before conference tournament. But right now, the 4 teams that I have put money on 2 of these teams to win the College World Series. One of them being your Mississippi State Bulldogs at plus 1,500. That feels like good money for a team who's going to get better the more we gel together and play together this year. Texas is another team at plus 1,600. They're going to, again, the SEC is going to be brutal. Mississippi State has a brutal SEC schedule facing Arkansas, Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia. It's going to be a LSU. It's going to be a freaking gauntlet. Florida. Like, there's no off weekends in the SEC.
No, and you have to win your home series. Like, home field advantage probably means the most in college baseball.
For sure.
Because like you can have, like, if Arkansas were to go to LSU and get swept, that would do like really almost nothing against their like resume. But like if LSU were to go to Arkansas and sweep Arkansas at home, that damages Arkansas down as far as you can go almost.
100%. And so you've got Mississippi State, Texas. If they can come out of the SEC, they got a really good chance. I'm high on the Chanticleers. I put money on them last year as they started their run when they got out of conference play and the regionals started, and I thought I was fixing to win. I put $50 on Coastal Carolina. I felt really good about that, and they came within a cat's hair, winning me some serious money. But you can get them right now at plus 2,700. That's the other team I put money on because I believe in the Chants and Kevin Schnall and returning that depth. But a team, Jared, if you're going to take a team outside of the SEC, I'm looking at Coastal Carolina, and you mentioned them, the TCU Horned Frogs. They're returning one of the deepest pitching rotations in the country. They are the odds-on favorite to make a bunch of noise in the Big 12. They hit the ball super well, but TCU is a team that's a little bit slept on. They are currently 9th in the Baseball America, top 25. What are they? Do you have D1 still pulled up?
No, I do not.
Yeah, they're a top 10 team. They're returning
9th or 10th.
They're returning their entire outfield, their entire infield, except for they got a transfer from Incarnate Word, which is a really good baseball lower program, and then their pitching staff: junior, sophomore, senior, a sophomore transfer from Hawaii, and Ethan Thomas, who's going to be a great relief pitcher for them. This team is going to be dangerous, and you can get them right now at plus 4,500. So if you think the SEC streak is going to end, those are my two teams who I think that could end it. Nothing against UCLA, but UCLA is one of those teams that when they have all the expectations, they have faltered. And then I watched them when they didn't have all of the expectation, did not lose a single game from the regionals until they went belt to ass against Mississippi State in the finals in 2013 against a good Mississippi State team.
That was a really good Mississippi State team.
And so I don't know. We'll see. But if you want to win a little money, I'd sprinkle a few dollars across these, Jared.
And also, too, in my personal opinion, when was the last time we had back-to-back? Was that South Carolina in 11-12?
Or it was either. Let me look. I think so. Or 15-16 for South Carolina.
Was it 15-16?
Mm-hmm. No, 15 was Virginia.
Yeah.
16 was Coastal. Last time we went back-to-back was... Let's see. Yeah, South Carolina. Wow, it was longer. 10 and 11. Yeah, 10 and 11.
So if you are a degenerate, avoid LSU. We have not had back-to-back in almost 15 years. So yeah.
There you go. Smart money is not LSU, which is why they're not on my Bucks best bet. I'm looking out for you, trying to help you win some money. But hey, listen, if you're still with us, we appreciate it hanging out with us, getting through a segment that we love, is near and dear to our hearts in college baseball. Jared, thanks for joining in with me today, man. I appreciate you hanging out, filling in for Drew. It's been a long time coming, but Drew is hopefully going to be back on Monday. But Jared, thank you for being here today, buddy.
Oh man, no problem. Listen, as much grief as I get from, Arkansas baseball and the history that they have put me through, college baseball all around is still just it's one of the best things. It's the most slept on sport, but it's growing. It is one of the most entertaining things. Because, you can sit through – everyone's like, oh, baseball is boring. Don't watch MLB for your first time watching baseball. Go watch college baseball. Look at the atmospheres. In top-ranked games and SEC weekends when you get, the Tennessee, Florida playing each other, the Mississippi State, Arkansas, you can even throw Ole Miss in there. When you get those teams playing each other, you get some of the best entertainment ever. And because you can quite literally feel the tension – the fact that you could reach out and probably cut it with your own hand.
Yep. I could have said it better myself. College baseball is electric. If you're new to the sport, check it out. Mississippi State plays Hofstra this afternoon. May not be the best first game to watch, but it's still college baseball. But listen, y'all have a good weekend. Treat your ladies and fellas and partners, he, she, theys, whatever, well this weekend. It is Valentine's Day. Y'all go make sure y'all love on your people and go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. We out until Monday. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for listening to the Two Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.